Welcome to another edition of Inside Swoop Scoop. I'm Emily Rolls.
And I'm Austin White. Here are some of the stories we've been following from this past week from around the world.
Over the past week, 20,000 new pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein were released by the House of Representatives. Email chains inside the documents mention many high-profile figures, including President Donald Trump, in response to the release of the documents. President Trump has consistently denied any relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. The nearly 15-year-old emails were obtained earlier this year, and for the first time, the group of records were released in September. A group of lawmakers have secured enough signatures calling for the Department of Justice to release all of the files.
Also in Washington, the House has voted on a bill to finally reopen the federal government. President Donald Trump is expected to sign the bill, officially ending the longest shutdown in history. Job restoration, back pay, and layoff protections are all some of the protections included in the deal. An extension of the Affordable Care Act, subsidized, will not be included in the deal, putting millions of Americans at risk of their health insurance not being able to be afforded. Republicans in the House and Senate are still placing blame on Democrats for the shutdown.
In Kentucky, the 14 victims from last week's deadly UPS plane crash have all been identified. Families of the victims have joined together to celebrate their lives and mourn their untimely deaths. The victims ranged in ages between 3 to 65 years old. Coroners and other officials are relieved to have finally found and identified the victims, but are struggling with the emotional toll of informing the families. Crews are still digging through the debris, but there are no other victims believed to be recovered.
A Missouri man is left dead after trying to stop a domestic dispute. Our Inside Swoop reporter, Crystal Branch, has the story.
The Warrensburg police has identified the man attempting to stop the dispute as Tony Barron. Investigators believe the suspect was an airman from the White Man Air Force Base. The unnamed suspect shot and killed Barron. The Warrensburg Police Chief Andrew Musterman says the suspect fired shots at the police as he fled the scene. A woman only identified as Marjorie says the bystander said, "Hey, let her go," before intervening the dispute. The suspect was later found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The woman attacked by the suspect was already been discharged from the hospital. Back to you guys in the studio.
In Des Moines, an intoxicated man is being charged with intoxicated driving after he crashed into a pizza restaurant. Bew Bowman gives us the story.
The entire ordeal was caught on camera. You can see the diners eating pizza before a truck comes crashing through the window.
Where were you at when it happened?
I was making pizzas.
Travis Vanderwert is the owner of Polly Eyes Pizza. He says he couldn't believe what he saw when he ran out of the kitchen.
As soon as I heard it, I just took off, kind of ran as fast as I can over to see what happened, and then realized, yeah, there's a truck in the building, and checked in on a couple people. Everyone kind of assured no one was, seriously injured, so I ran outside to check on the driver. Found him inside the building.
Johnston police say 2 people were hurt in the crash. Only one was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Officers arrested the driver, Edward Jones III, and charged him with OWI second offense and failure to provide proof of insurance. In court documents filed Monday, investigators say Jones had bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and had issues comprehending simple instructions from officers.
In the video, you can see he came on more of a straight angle.
Vanderwert says Jones wasn't in the restaurant before the crash happened. He's still trying to make sense of where the truck came from and is grateful no one was seriously hurt.
It could have been a lot worse if they were sat, 2 inches further one direction, so just thankful it's not any worse than it was.
A train operator in San Francisco was placed on non-driving status after she appeared to be dozing off behind the controls of a train. The incident, captured on video, occurred when the driver appeared to fall asleep as the train reached speeds of up to 50 miles an hour. The operator, after waking up in the Sunset Tunnel, told passengers to remain calm, stating that the brakes had issues. Julie Kirschbaum, Director of Transportation, said that their investigation ruled out mechanical failure and determined the incident was caused by operator fatigue. This operator has been placed on non-driving status.
A food bank in Illinois ran out of emergency food. Hours remain at a distribution event. As SNAP funding was paused during the government's shutdown, hungry stomachs showed up in huge lines as the food bank gave out over 300 boxes in the first 45 minutes of the event. Even beyond the government shutdown, Riverbend Food Bank has been experiencing highs in food insecurity rates. With the government ending its shutdown, SNAP funding is expected to be restored soon.
In better news, a bakery is supporting its community in a different way. The pastries aren't just for paying customers. The bakery gives sheet cakes to the homeless so they can celebrate their birthdays too. A community birthday event celebrates those in need with a free hot meal, cake, haircuts, and birthday presents. The bakery's owner, Manolo Betchour, says it's about human dignity when we live in a society where more and more people become invisible to us.
Well, thanks for joining us on another edition of Inside Swoop Scoop. I'm Emily Rolls.
And I'm Austin White, and we'll see you next time with more news from around the world.